It's alright, don't worry about them. I can handle them. Probably get a lot worse as soon as they find out about us. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus! We gotta get out of here. We gotta get somewhere where there's some other people. Well, we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some.
What's happening? You sit down, please. What's happening?
They're smashing on my headlights, man. Two of them. There are two of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can handle this.
I don't know.
I know you're afraid.
I don't know. I don't know. What's happening?
What was that? They know we're in here now. We gotta get some lights on this house. Why don't you see if you can go find some wood or some board? Something over there by the fireplace. Something to nail this place up. Look, goddammit! I know you're afraid, but we have to try to board this place up tight. I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we have to work together. You have to help me here. Now I want you to go find some wood so we can board this place up, okay? Okay?
Does the music box to you?
Yeah, I forgot to mark it, sorry. Yeah, we need that file.
I've got that room pretty secure. If we have to, we can come in here and reinforce this room. It won't be long before those things come their way in. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. Here, I want you to pick up the biggest box, the biggest nails you can find. There's a radio in that truck. I jumped in to listen to it, but a big gasoline truck came screaming down the road. There must have been about 10 or 15 of those things chasing after it. Grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. Those things were catching up to it. One was right across the road. I slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. Went right through a guardrail, I guess. I guess the driver must have cut off the road. There's a gas station over by Beacons. Went right through a billboard and ripped over a gas pump, and it never stopped moving. By now, it was like a moving bonfire. I didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. I could still hear the man screaming. These things just backed away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone that could help me. That's why I noticed the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life except by now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone. There were 50 or 60 of those things just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive out and I just plowed right through them. They didn't move, they didn't run, they just stood there, staring at me. I just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We went for a drive in the cemetery. Johnny and me. We were going to lay a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny said, "Do you have any candy, Barbara?" And we didn't have any. It's hot in here. It's so hot in here. And then he said, "Oh, it's late." And I said, "Well, if we'd gotten up earlier." And then he said, "Are you afraid, Barbara?" And I said, "No, Johnny, I'm not afraid." And then this man came walking towards us, slowly, and Johnny said, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." And then Johnny ran off, and I went up to the man, and I said, "I'm sorry, could you..."
I think you should just keep calm.
Yeah, and then the man started grabbing at me. He was grabbing at me and ripping at my clothes.
Why don't you just calm down?
And I screamed out, "Johnny, help me!" And Johnny came running back, and he fought the man, and I was so afraid that I ran, and Johnny's still out there. We have to go find Johnny. We have to go and get my brother. Please, we have to go find my brother. No, please, we have to find my brother. He's out there.
Don't you know what's going on? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Please, you don't understand. My brother's alone.
Your brother is dead.
No, my brother is not dead. No. Oh.
Yeah. Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because this crisis, which is even now developing, this station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pulling their resources through an emergency effort hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs, with no apparent motive or reason for the claim. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We now have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being grotesque. So at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally flooded with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Erie, along with the governors of certain eastern and midwestern states, indicate that the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened yet. The only other information that reporters have been able to obtain from official sources is a warning for all citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined, and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and television for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their place of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urgent warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic drivers attempting to get home or flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay put wherever you are.
I found a gun and some bullets up there. Oh, these. This place is boarded up pretty solid now. We're gonna be all right for a while. There's a gun, bullets, food, and a radio. Sooner or later, someone's bound to come and get some. Look, I don't know if you're hearing me, but I'm going upstairs. If anything were to try to get in here, I can hear from up there. I'll be down to take care of it. I'll be back to reinforce the doors and windows later, but you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just received word that the President has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI, the Joint Chiefs, behind closed doors. White House spokesmen say that there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch we just received in our newsroom. The latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. All radio and television stations have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and television and to stay indoors at all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell us to advise citizens who are seeking shelter to report to local schools, churches, government buildings, and emergency facilities for refuge from the wholesale murders which are apparently engulfing the eastern third of the nation. If you are not indoors, for God's sake, get off the streets. If you're inside, lock your doors and windows up tight. Civil defense officials in Cumberland, Maryland have told newsmen that murder victims show signs of having been personally attacked. Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims who looked as though they'd been torn apart. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin that we just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland. Civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examinations of the victims' bodies show conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they killed. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these and other reports that we've been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified completely as is possible during this confused situation, confirm that it is happening. And it would appear that no one is safe in this wave of mystery.
How long have you two been down there? I could use some help up here.
How are we supposed to know what's going on? Could have been those things for all we know.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
Sounds like the place is being ripped apart. How are we supposed to know what's going on?
That girl was screaming. Surely you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make that kind of noise. Anybody would know that somebody's in need of help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on for a time.
We thought we could hear a scream, but for all we knew, it could have been those things went in the house after her.
And you wouldn't have come up and helped.
Well, if there was then.
Look, we came up here, didn't we? Okay, we're here now. And I suggest you go back down to the cellar, find those things, find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place for them?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar is the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through your lousy pile of wood.
He has lucky kids downstairs. The kids are hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could straighten everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy. You know that? You've got a million windows up here. All these windows, and you're gonna make them strong enough. Keep those things out, huh?
I'm telling you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them, and I pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you those things turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any 5 good men could do that.
That's my point. Well, there's not going to be 5 or 6 or 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of them. Once they find out we're in here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door. That's all we have to protect. I have it fixed so it locks and boards from the inside. But out here, we got all these windows. We would never know where we're going to hit next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, we'd be done for. We can make it out of here if we have to. We've got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there, no windows. If a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. Do you know how many's out there?
I don't know, maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar. You two better decide, because I'm going to board up this door. And I'm not going to open it again no matter what happens.
Now wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it down to the cellar if we have to. But if we decide to stay down there, we'll need things from up here. Let's at least consider this one.
You box yourself in that cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Oh yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 of them now.
There's more than there were. I think there's a lot out back, too.
Harry, what's happening?
It's all right.
We've got to fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down in the cellar.
Go in your damn cellar. Get out of here.
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her. You keep your hands off her and everything else up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the door is what I want to fight for. And if you're going down to your cellar, just get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
Is this your house?
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I've got kids down there. They can't possibly. I can't bring them up here. Okay? They can't possibly take the rack of those things smashing through the window.
Well, you're their father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that truck, that's your business. However, I'm not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kids up there, old man is so stupid. Now get the hell down to yourself. You can be the boss down there. I'm the boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we
We're
could.
fine.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
Oh, you're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
Go on. It's all right. If we stick together, man, we can fix this up real good. Mr. Cooper, I think we'd be a lot better off if the 3 of us were working together on this.
Hey, kid.
He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there. Let them. 2 other people up there, a man and a woman.
Yeah, we heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who it was. I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Are they all right?
I don't know. If they're warm, maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket? I tore a sheet.
Let them stay up there. Too many ways those things can get up in there. But we'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them down here.
Because that's what the court was in.
What?
For you to be right and everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone out there even know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it is, it isn't just happening here. It's happening everywhere. They say it's some kind of mass murder. And the radio said the same.
The radio?
There's a radio upstairs. I heard the news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. They don't know anything here. There's mass murder everywhere. The radio said to find a safe place to hide.
Harry, unboard that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some sort of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us. They'll tell us what to do. How are we supposed to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? Look, we might not enjoy living together, but dying together is not going to solve anything.
Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom,
Yeah?
if Judy would come down, Harry and I would come up.
Okay, yeah. Will you do it? I can't. Come on, honey. Nothing's gonna get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me. Okay, open up. I'll take good care of it, Helen. You're all I have. Why don't you go upstairs now? Please.
Hey, get the man with this thing.
Her brother was hurt. Her brother was hurt. I have to go help out with this room. It's okay.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper. I'm Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here.
Why don't you do something to help?
They talk about being victims. But there could be 15 million of those things out there. I can't see a thing.
There's a sock over here.
Drag that table over here.
Now, hey, you better pay attention to this because I don't want anybody's life in my hands.
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. You stay up here, you take orders from me, and that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on. It's on.
There's no sound. Play with the rabbit ears. Go on, play with those rabbit ears. Shut up!
The above murder, which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation, is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted these eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word just arriving. We interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from the National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television were advising people to stay indoors, behind locked doors, for safety. Well, that situation is now changed, and we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical attention, and protection by National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible. In connection, an emergency meeting was called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference by the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earthbound emergency? So far, all the vetting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Dr. Grimes, your entire staff I know has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers, but first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
Is there a connection between the radiation from the Venus probe and the recent epidemic of murder?
Well, the Venus probe did carry an unusual amount of radiation, certainly enough to cause mutations. At the university in the cold room, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime earlier this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move. Any dead body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death then can the body become reactivated?
We don't know for sure. It could be a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
No, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried out to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them in gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forgo the dubious comfort that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
It's obvious we have to try and get out of here. See, we have a truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
No, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked. How are you going to get over that pump?
Willard! It just says Willard. That's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area? You from around here?
Me and Judy are from around here. We were both on our way down to the lake when Judy had a radio when we heard the first reports about this. We knew the old house was here, but when we came in, the lady was down the stairs.
Get away from here. We've got 2 children, sick. They're sick. We've got 2 women, 1 woman on her head. Those things out there.
Why?
How bad is your kid getting hurt? Or your kids?
How bad are your kids hurt?
One of those things you grabbed them? No, just Oh, just Okay.
Look, you go tell Judy. Yeah, you go tell Judy to come up here. You stay with the kids, okay?
Judy? They went upstairs. Did they ask you?
No, they haven't.
I just don't understand. Girls? It's mommy.
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Look, I need you to go and find some bed spreads or sheets to tear up into small strips, okay?
I'll see what I can find.
We need some more bottles or jars for Molotov cocktails. Hold them off while we try to escape.
There's a can of kerosene and some bottles down in the cellar.
There's a big key ring down there. There might be a key to the gas pump on it.
I'll try.
Well, we can toss the cocktails from the window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out try to make the gas, and then come back for the rest of the people. That'll leave a door in someplace. Yeah, that's right. It better be this one. It's closer to the truck. We'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in here.
There's a key out here that's labeled for the pump.
I'm not really used to that truck. I found it abandoned.
I'll take that truck no sweat.
You're it, Flynn. You and I will go. We'll put together whatever lumber we can find behind the cellar door. You can go toss the cocktails from the window upstairs. Tom, you and I will have to board this door. After you toss the cocktails, hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back in the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody in the truck. Now let's move it.
You always have a smile at me. How can you smile like that all the time? We've got work to do, honey. We have to move. Tom, are you sure about the phone? The phone is dead out. I get a recorded message. If only I could call the folks. They've got to be so worried about us. Everything's gonna be alright. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
I
know. Tom, are you sure we're doing the right thing? What about getting out of here? Yeah? That's what the television said to do. We've got to get to a rescue station. I don't know. Come on, honey. You're trying to telling Mr. Cooper now. Why do you have to go out there? Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I know how to handle that pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff, but we're safe in here. But for how long, honey? Sure, we're safe now, but there's gonna be more and more of those things. I know all of that. Listen, remember when we had that big flood? Remember how hard it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember? Remember we had to go over there. This isn't just a passing thing, honey. This isn't just a wind passing through. We've got to do something. And fast. I just don't need to go, that's all. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, I sure could use that now. I've got work to do, honey. And you.
Now, we need to take her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we all get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, yes, I'd like to leave.
Good luck. You ready upstairs? Yeah. All right, toss them. Go on, go ahead.
I'm going with him.
Get down in the cellar.
No!
Grab some water. Get away from the pump. Get away from the pump now.
Harry! Oh my God!
Get down in the cellar. Cooper! Cooper! Let me in! Come on, Cooper! Cooper! I gotta take you out there and feed you to those things!
Is it 11 o'clock yet? The news said there'd be another broadcast at 11.
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes, that's not too terribly long. And then we can leave, right? It's 10 minutes to 11.
Why?
You know anything about this area?
Do you know anything about this area at all? Is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to make it to a hotel before dark.
How are we supposed to get over there? Through an army of those things? Why?
You said these things turned over your
I
car.
said these things turned over your car. Can we get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
I don't know. It seems pretty far. It seems like we ran.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gotta carry those children through an army of those things?
I can carry the kids. What's wrong with them? How'd they get hurt?
One of those things grabbed them and
Get them on the arm.
Who knows what kind of diseases those things carry? Are they conscious?
barely.
They can't even walk. They're too weak.
Well, one of us can try to get to the car.
You won't be able to start it. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
Johnny has the keys. You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know that, but where is it?
Good Lord.
This is Bill Bardo, WICL TV 11 News, coming to you live. At this hour, officials report the level of mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So as long as this situation remains, government spokesman warned that the dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis for whatever cause will come back to life to seek human victims, unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. All law enforcement and the military have been organized to search out and destroy their prerogatives.
Hey! Make sure you put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want to get nothing again.
The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has been disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of the ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain, kill the ghoul. Butler County Sheriff Con Flynn is now just returned from conducting a search and destroy operation against the ghouls. Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good.
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today, right in this area. Those last 3 we caught were trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There weren't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over, beat them off, blasted them down.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You want to get on the other side of the road over there? Get the dogs and go check out that pole barn.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club, a torch, beat them, burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take to get this situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they still moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Chief, do you think you'd be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we really don't know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably in the early morning. We're working our way towards Willard and hoping to team up with the National Guard over there. And then we'll be able to get a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Bardo, WICL News.
Is the fuse box in the cellar? I don't know. No, it isn't the fuse. Power line's down. I have got to get that gun.
Haven't you had enough?
2 men are already dead on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Oh my God! Harry! Harry, help me!
Get over here, man. Help me. Come on. Go on. Go ahead. You want to stand here now? Huh? Let me get down the cellar. Get down the cellar.